The PD Region Paranormal Group leads an evening through Downtown Rockingham. Alyson Legget is this week's official Richmond County Female Athlete of the Week, and early voting begins today in Richmond County. That and more all coming your way on your Wednesday edition of Live at 5. Richmond County's nightly news starts right now. The PD Paranormal Group took on the task of setting up a historical, informative, and at times spooky tour for the citizens of Richmond and surrounding counties of Downtown Rockingham, and all of the tours that were scheduled for both nights were sold out. While doing their investigations, the members of the group used a variety of equipment, including an EMF detector, a K2 meter, a digital thermometer, an SLS camera, and a spirit box. Tour guide Scott Tomestic shared that he was a descendant of the official minister of the Salem witch trials, Nicholas Noyes. Tomestic wore a long black cape, brown vest, a top hat, and spectacles as he led and shared stories of apparitions, murder, and tragedy that is part of Rockingham's history. The tour began outside of what is now known as Hudson Brothers Deli. It was originally the site of Watson King Funeral Home. There have been reports of shadowy figures and sounds of running and laughter on the third floor, believed to be emanating from the spirit of a little girl. Tomestic shared the colorful history of the Richmond Community Theater. There have been reports of a theater monkey that causes mischief and moves objects. The Leak Wall House, which has a huge cedar of Lebanon tree in the yard, was built in 1853 by John Leak. It has been noted that the ghosts there do not like Northerners, possibly due to the plunder and pilfering by Sherman's Union troops as they marched through the town in March of 1865. The water tower beside the Rockingham Police Department was the last stop on the tour. In the shadow of the water tower, Tomestic told the tale of Henry Harvey and his murderous behavior in the summer of 1908. When arrested, Harvey was convicted of murder and sentenced to hanging. Tomestic shared that the city of Rockingham was on a projected growth track at the time of 20,000 by the year 1920. Perhaps Henry Harvey's special purpose, of which he spoke of before his hanging, was a curse of some sort on the town in which he died. It was also the last hanging to occur in the city of Rockingham. The PD Paranormal Group will also be at the Hamlet Depot this weekend for the depot's third annual ghost tour. Tickets are on sale at ticketleap.com. You can also get 2 free tickets by calling in to Good Morning Sandhills on Friday between 6:30 and 8:30 a.m. Several hundred Richmond County voters got ahead of the Election Day crowd to cast their ballots early. Deputy Elections Director Teresa Smith said there were 2 people waiting in the line when the doors of the Cooperative Extension Office opened at 7 a.m. today. She added that the crowd had been steady all day. 20 had voted before 8 a.m. and more than 300 had chosen their candidates by 1:30 p.m. Candidates and their campaign volunteers stood outside the building trying to sway voters' choices. Jim Black of Rockingham stood along Caroline Street holding signs reading, quote, "Vote for women," and, quote, "Vote for America," and said he was sick and tired of evil people running the country. Early voting continues Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. until November 2nd, and Saturday, November 3rd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Richmond Raider Choir is hosting a costume breakfast fundraiser this Saturday. The fundraiser will be held at Fats on Highway 74 in Rockingham between 8 and 10:30 a.m. For $10, the meal includes pancakes, sausage links, mixed fruit, and a drink. Children under 3 years old can eat for free with a paying adult. Advanced ticket purchases can be made, and costumes are not required. For more information, you can call 910-997-9812. All proceeds will go to benefit the Richmond Raider Choir. Alyson Legget, a sophomore on the Richmond Senior High School cross-country team, has been named the 4th official Richmond County Female Athlete of the Week for the 2018 fall sports season. In her first season on the Lady Raiders cross-country team, Legget has proven to be one of first-year head coach Shelley Wimpy's most dedicated and improved runners. She's been an integral part of Richmond's success this year and helped the Lady Raiders qualify for regionals this fall. This is Leggett's first career selection. In her first full year at Richmond Senior High School, Legget is hitting the books just as hard as she's running on the course. As only a sophomore, she's already taking several tough courses, including AP Government, English 2 Honors, Health Science 1 Honors, and weight training. She's a consistent flyer on the Distinguished A Honor Roll, boasts a 4.25 overall GPA, and is enrolled in the Health Science Cluster. Part of the reason why Legget began running cross country this season was to better condition herself for soccer in the spring. She was a member of the Richmond junior varsity team as a freshman, playing right wing for head coach Chris Larson. Congratulations to Alyson on making this week's official Richmond County Female Athlete. And for more on her story, as well as the others mentioned in today's show, you can, of course, visit richmondobserver.com. Now, I highly recommend checking out the rest of the ghost stories in the PD Region Paranormal Group Tour in Rockingham. There's plenty more interesting details and tidbits of the history of the downtown Rockingham area. All right, when we return, we've got another edition of Ask Richmond County, this time at Hopstoberfest. It's coming up right after the break, so stay tuned.
Hi, this is Christina with Richmond County Hospice. I'm with Julie and Holly, and we're here to talk about how wonderful Hayden Construction was during our recent pipe bursting and flooding in our building.
In 10 to 15 minutes, they were here, and they were already starting to work, vacuuming up the water, trying to figure out where all the damage was, what all they needed to do.
They were so quick to get on the scene. They were here before I even arrived, and it was just reassuring to have them come in and take control.
We are so thankful that they were here to help us that day.
At Kyocera, we see your company differently. We see your documents, how they're accessed, what it takes to keep them secure, and how well your workflow is flowing.
Kyocera helps your entire document infrastructure run more efficiently, securely, and cost-effectively.
And what we see is an opportunity to integrate all of it.
Matt Harrelson with Live at 5 here. Another edition of Ask Richmond County, this time Hopstoberfest edition. So just like we've been doing in the past, we're going to go around, ask some Richmond County folks some questions, some silly, some serious, mostly silly though. Let's have a lot of fun. Let's get right to it. All right, who are we here with?
Taylor Thomas.
All right, Taylor, here's your first question for all the Southerners out there. How do you pronounce this word?
Pecan.
Pecan, okay. All right, guys, here's your first question for all the Southerners out there. How do you pronounce this word?
Pecan. Pecan.
Pecan. Pecan.
Oh, all the same. That surprises me a little bit.
Pecan. Pecan.
Pecan. I think we've gotten all the same answers so far.
Pecan.
Pecan. We've got a different one finally.
Well, pecan.
Okay. What about if it's an ice cream?
Let's see, when I go to Dairy Queen, I ask for vanilla ice cream with pecans on it.
Okay, so it doesn't change either way, all right?
Pecan. Pecan.
Two pecans, all right?
I actually meant pecan, but
it could go
pecan.
Either way. We've gotten it both ways.
Pecan.
Pecan.
Okay. Now, we're at Hopstoberfest. Have you tried any of the wings yet?
Not yet.
Okay. How about any of the beers?
I've tried one.
All right. Which one? Do you know what it was?
It was the Dirtbag Blonde.
Okay. That is a good choice. Is this your first time coming to Hopstoberfest?
It is my first time.
All right. Is this everybody's first time here at Hopstoberfest?
No, we've been every year.
All right. Everybody's been here before. My board's coming apart. So, tried some wings. What's your favorite so far?
We've only been to one. We've been to Table 1. I think they won last year. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's got
Really
very
good.
smoky and
which
heat.
I like.
I tried that one too. It's definitely hot. What about the beers? Any favorites so far?
It's all good. Yeah.
Excellent answer. Is this your first time coming to Hopstoberfest?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I wish I had been to the other three.
I know it just got started, but what do you think so far?
I'm having a good time. The people seem to be having a good time. Music's good. Beer's great.
Absolutely. If you left here right now, went to a store, bought a lottery ticket, won $10 million, what are you buying?
It's a great question. I'm giving all my friends and family money.
Oh, that's good. I hope we're close enough friends for that to happen to me.
I've known you for a long time.
That's true. That's very
I
true.
I taught you PE.
That's right. What's your favorite 90s jam?
I can't pick them there. That's like mine. That's all of them are awesome.
That's a good answer. We'll accept that. What's your favorite thing about autumn?
The leaves, the changing of the colors.
Okay.
And hopefully the cooler weather.
Yes, not really much today, but it's on the way. If you left here right now, went to a store, bought a lottery ticket, won $10 million, what you buying?
I'd probably put it in my savings account in a trust fund for my grandchildren.
Excellent answer. I wish I was one of your grandkids if you win that. If you left here right now, went to the store, got a lottery ticket, and won $10 million, what you buying?
A ranch in Texas. Island somewhere in the tropics.
That is an excellent answer and is a piggyback for my next question. If you bought that island and only had one rule for everybody that lived on it, what would that rule be?
Have fun.
What about you, Robin?
I'll have to agree with Wendy. Have fun.
I think that's an excellent answer. What's your favorite thing about autumn?
My favorite thing is probably trick-or-treating, taking my little 2-year-old trick-or-treating.
All right, that was my next question. As far as Halloween, you planning on dressing up this year?
Maybe.
All right, let me ask you this then. If you could dress up, what would you be?
Probably Rick James.
Oh, excellent answer. I wish I could say the quote for that while we're on camera. What's your favorite thing about autumn?
Pumpkin spice latte.
Oh my gosh. I knew. Fight the spice. What's your favorite thing about autumn?
I think the colder weather. That's really hot today.
Yeah, you're right. It's an anomaly. All right, I'm going to ask everybody a different question here. All right. What's your favorite 90s jam?
Oh, God.
No, you can't pick the same one. You can't pick the same one.
Crap.
That's not a song.
I don't know. Who's that one by?
Did that one.
Anything by New Kids on the Block.
Okay. All right.
No, I got it.
Okay, you want to answer the same question?
I know
I can answer the same one.
Is it Brown Sugar by D'Angelo?
No, it's Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice.
That'll work. Jonathan, here's your question. If you left Hopstoberfest right now, went to the convenience store, bought a lottery ticket and won $10 million, what are you buying?
Plane ticket out of here.
Fair enough. Last question. This one's a thinker.
All right.
How many cows are in Canada?
0.
I think that's correct. We'll take that as an acceptable answer. What's your favorite 90s jam?
Had to be something with Bon Jovi.
Okay. And last question. If you owned a small island and only could have one rule on that island, what would it be?
It would be somewhere in Jamaica, and it would be don't work ever.
That sounds great. I love that idea. Halloween is coming up soon. Planning on dressing up?
I do.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm thinking Wednesday Addams, maybe.
Oh, that sounds great. Last question. What's your favorite 90s jam?
Ooh. I don't know. I can't think.
You can say all of them.
All of them.
All of them. Sounds good. If you owned your own island that you bought with that $10 million and you only had one rule on your island, what would it be?
I'd invite all my friends and tell them they have to act like they got some sense if they come to my island.
Okay, fair enough. Last question for you. We're obviously starting autumn already. So what's your favorite thing about fall?
The cool weather.
Even though we're not seeing much of that today,
I know, we're
right?
not seeing much. We're getting shorted right now. And the smell of pumpkin pie and the aromas that fall time brings.
I got a follow-up question for that. Are you a pumpkin spice fan?
Not necessarily until about 3 years ago, and then I started tasting some things that had pumpkin in it.
And now it's everywhere.
And now I love it, yeah.
Halloween's coming up. Planning on dressing up?
Yes.
What are you going to be?
I don't know yet.
All right, what
I really want to be a minion.
Oh, that'd be a good
I
one.
want everybody at work to be a minion.
Despicable Me's.
Yeah.
Last question. What's your favorite 90s jam?
I don't have a good 90s jam.
All right, what about another decade then?
Like the 80s.
All right, shoot for the 80s.
So Pour Some Sugar on Me is my favorite 80s jam.
That's a good one there. What's your favorite 90s jam?
Too many. Just two. Red Hot Chili Peppers for me. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Somehow that does not surprise me. Thanks, ladies.
Welcome back to your Live 5 weather report. Today's weather is brought to you by Todd's Computers and going straight into the highs for tomorrow, which isn't going to be very high. So in Greenville at 61, Newborn 64, Wilmington 65. And as you can see, it's actually dropped to like 10 degrees since yesterday. So it's a lot cooler and it definitely feels like fall. But anyway, Raleigh will have 59, Southern Pines 62, Rockingham 64, Clinton 63, Laurinburg 64, Lumberton 65, and Darlington 66. So I don't know if you noticed, but it's like a lot warmer towards closer to Florida and areas like that. But other than that, Greensboro will have 59, Hickory 61, Charlotte 63, Spartanburg 64, Lancaster 65, and Columbia 69. And it's going to be sunny pretty much all day tomorrow. And of course, 5-day weather forecast Thursday, which is tomorrow. No chance of rain, sunny, high 64 and a low of 42. So it's going to be pretty cold at evening. Then Friday, no chance of rain, high 67, low 55. And then Saturday, there is a 70% chance of rain with a high of 69 and a low of 48. And then Sunday, no chance of rain, high 61 and a low of 39. So that day is the coolest day. So keep that in mind. Luckily, it's on the weekend. And then Monday, no chance of rain, high of 62 and a low of 54. And that's pretty much it. That's going to do it for your Live 5 weather report. When we return, Lady Raider Volleyball takes to the court to face Scotland, and Lady Raider golfer Haley Miller returns to the 4A State Golf Championship. It's coming up when we return.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
At Richmond County Hospice, we strive to provide high-quality care to our patients and their families. Whether it's the incredible hospitality at the Haven House or from the comfort of your own home, you can count on hospice to be there for you. We also offer monthly grief support groups, and our chaplain will be there to hold your hand in prayer. Through our amazing staff and our volunteers, hospice has made difficult times easier for our community. Call the number on your screen if you feel that you or your loved one may benefit from our services. Richmond County Hospice. Peace, comfort, dignity.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is all about rustic home decor and gifts. You will always find a variety of unique antiques, vintage, and new items in our shop. Come and see our selection of housewarming, new baby, and wedding gifts. For the man in your life, we have many collectibles, Boker knives, and leather. And ladies love the jewelry, purses, candles, hats, and t-shirts. We also offer a 30-day layaway program. Come and experience shopping at Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts.
Tuesday's SAC volleyball match at Scotland High School didn't hold much weight for the Lady Raiders in terms of moving up in the conference standings ahead of the SAC tournament, but it did hold significance for the Lady Raiders' seeding in the state playoffs. Richmond helped its cause as it entered the night in 40th place of 48 possible teams in the current state playoff bracket. The Lady Raiders finished the regular season series sweep against the Lady Fighting Scots, winning its 6th straight match and spoiling Scotland's senior night in straight sets. With the win, Richmond capped off the regular season and locked up the 3rd place spot in the SAC standings behind Jack Britt and Pinecrest High Schools. The 3-set win was Richmond's 7th time accomplishing that feat this season, and head coach Ashley Larson noted that her team's effort is what made the difference in the season finale. The Lady Raiders finished the regular season with a 13-7 overall record. Though Richmond didn't win its 3rd consecutive conference title in Larson's debut season, the head coach still feels that her team has something to prove heading into the SAC tournament. Richmond will be on the road at Pinecrest tonight in the opening round of the SAC tournament. If Richmond were to pull off the upset, it would face the winner of Jack Britt and Lumberton High School. First serve is set for 6 p.m. tonight at Pinecrest. Richmond Senior High School has its first state champion contender of the 2018-19 school year. On Monday, 48 golfers from 16 high schools competed in the 4A Eastern Regional for a trip to next week's title match. Junior Lady Raider Haley Miller qualified for the 4A state tournament after shooting a 90 at Pinehurst Country Club's course number 1. Coming up just short of qualifying was senior Lady Raider Natalie Davis, who finished the day with a 101, 8 strokes above the cut line of 93. Miller, who actually struggled in the regional match, did just enough to survive and advance. She reached the state championship last season after shooting a 97 on Pinehurst's number 5 course. Miller has clearly improved since a season ago. In 2017, she had an average 9-hole score of 47.4 heading into the state championship. This season, she's averaging exactly 43 strokes per 9 holes played. Probably her most impressive leap was in her performance at Pinehurst number 5. She reduced her 2017 score by a dozen strokes when she finished with an 85 in last week's regular season finale. The 2018 4A state tournament will take place on October 22nd and 23rd at Pinehurst number 3. And that's going to do it for today's edition of Live at 5. If you haven't already, be sure to download the Richmond Observer app for your iPhone and Android devices. For all the latest news in Richmond County, visit richmondobserver.com. And be sure to tune in to Good Morning Sandhills Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. And also as a reminder, tune in especially this Friday where you could potentially win 2 free tickets to this weekend's 3rd annual Hamlet Depot Ghost Tour. Thanks for watching Live at 5, and good night, Richmond County.